We made an ad completely using AI that got over $400,000 in spend profitably. And today I'm going to show you exactly what the strategy was and how you can make something similar. So I'm going to give away all the secrets. I'm obviously not going to give away everything, but something that helps. So a quick background about the app. This is a AI photo app. So you could upload pictures and create different versions of you. So basically a photo editing / AI transformation type of an app. Now we make over 15,000 creatives monthly for this specific app. So it was a lot of testing that went into creating this ad. And I'm going to share some of the discoveries that we've made when creating ads like this. This is not the first time we've done this. We've done this a couple of times for different apps. And I have observed a very similar pattern, which I'll share with you today. Now, the single most important thing that I want you to really understand, the more scalable an ad becomes, the easier it should be for the consumer to consume it. So it should be something very easy for them to digest and understand. So whatever you're saying should be communicated very effectively. By simple, I don't mean you should create an ad which is plain or just boring. That's not the goal here. It's to create something that communicates the idea very clearly and in a simple way. Now, simple can mean a lot of things for different apps. I'm talking in the context of this specific app that I'm talking about. So the way that we showed the ad might not work for a different app. So it could be completely different. So I just want to put that out there as well. Basically, the voiceover, the assets, screen recordings, maybe even the actor, everything should be right on the spot. And the other most important thing is whatever you're putting in should be exactly what they want to see, which is often called creative testing, where we test different hooks, different angles, maybe different concept, maybe different pain, maybe different desires. So from that, you find out what they want to see, and you gather all of it and then communicate it and then put it in place so that it's very effectively communicated or very effectively executed. So I strongly advise that before you start creating the ad, you need to understand what type of content do they consume that would drive them to a buying decision. The important part here is a buying decision. Now, you could go on TikTok, Instagram, Reels, and then check out the content that your target audience might watch. But you do need to keep in mind, views, comments, and shares doesn't equal conversions. We've had ads that get loads of comments, super engaging, but it doesn't get any conversion. The ad is just bad. It might get a lot of installs, but conversion's pretty slim. So therefore, what you need to be doing is understand what's the type of content that they need to consume to buy. The easiest way for you to do this is just look at what competitors are running. This should be one of the easiest pointers. But the ad that we made specifically that became this huge winner was not something that came from a competitor. It was just figuring out what people wanted to see. So in our case, it was a before and after. And the other thing was, how do they want to see this before and after? Is it side by side? Is it a video? Is it a picture? To identify these things, you would have to create ads and test yourself if you don't have competitors. But it's important that you do your best to understand how do people consume and what do people consume to drive that buying decision. This specific ad that really scaled came from a batch of 64 ads. So basically 64 iterations of one of the winning ads that we have. And I think in total, we had about 120 ads in total that we made in order to come to this point. But the return you get is exceptional, because once you have an ad that you've tested a lot and you found to be profitable to you and able to withstand a lot of spend. And when you are able to have ads that can withstand a lot of spend and also still hit the KPIs that you're looking for, it becomes incredibly easy for you to scale, because one, you could just start iterating this ad. And two, you can just increase ad spend without any worry, because you know this ad can withstand spend. But obviously there would come a point where it wouldn't, but before that time comes, you should start iterating immediately. One of the things that we tested was the layout of the ad. How were things positioned? So for example, we would have headline on top, before, after, and headline on the middle, before and after, on the bottom, before and after. And what really made the difference here was with the layout. The easiest way to do this is get the winning ad and just change the position. But most of the time, if everything is in the safe zone, you could go for it. And what made the biggest difference was changing the actual text and also the before and after that we showed. We tested the gender, we tested the age, tested different actors, different races. We tried real people, we tried AI people. We changed the hair, the outfit, everything that you can think of we tested it. We changed the voiceover, so pretty much we tried male, female, different accents, different tones. Is it tones? Like different voiceovers. The duration of the ad was also tested, so we tried longer ads, shorter ads, really short ads, and we also tested the starting images of this specific ad. You might think this is a lot of variations, but keep in mind when you're dealing with very high ad spend, fatigue is going to set in faster than you can imagine. So you need to have creatives that are very strong, both in hitting KPI, but also withstanding that spend. Because once you have a creative like this, and it's pretty easy to iterate on, you can just optimize it and you can also test. And when you're testing with a very strong creative, it's very easy to get learnings because you can pick variable by variable and change it and then get a learning out of it. For example, if you want to test a different angle, you can just get the winner, change the headline, change the voiceover. And if it doesn't work, there's two reasons. Maybe the actual layout or the way it should be communicated for that angle sucks, or just the angle sucks in general. But if the angle works, that's enough proof for you to start working on that new concept. It is also important that whenever you're trying to build a really big ad, and obviously only start doing this when you have an ad that's showing very positive signs, you get that and start iterating. But make sure you document every single iteration that you do. For example, you might find that showing this specific before works better. In this way, when you're creating new concepts or if you're iterating on a different ad, you can get this specific element from this ad that you tested and then put it there. This prevents you from testing things that don't work over and over again. And also, you can document all these learnings and then implement it whenever you create a new ad. But once again, do keep in mind, something that works for one concept might not work for the other, and vice versa. But we've often seen, even though something that might work for one might not work for the other, we've seen very high chances of things that work for other ads work for others, but it doesn't happen all the time. I'm not saying, whoa, it works for this concept, let's just try it on the other. That's not the case all the time, but it does happen. In my experience, it happens quite often. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, you can leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.